Welcome in. It is the local and community issues and answers right here on WVTN television. So thankful today to have Amy Young, and she's with Forever Friends. Good to meet you, Amy.
Nice to meet you.
Now, how long have you been with this organization?
A couple of years. There is a group of us. We have always done animal rescue, and within the last year, we decided to incorporate and go nonprofit.
Animal rescue. Now, you did a lot of work down in the East Bernstead area during the tornado and everything like that?
Yes, actually, Forever Friends was the first on the scene as far as animal rescue goes.
Now, what types of work do you do? I mean, how do you rescue these animals? How do you help them?
This was a first experience for us. We had never done anything like that. The Friday after the tornado hit, my boyfriend and I had went to the Red Cross to volunteer, and I was talking with the man who was over the Red Cross and asked him, what if someone comes in and they have a pet? And he said, well, we can't house them here at the shelter. So it hit me. You know, they're, as well as people, they're animals, and those people need help with everything. And most, I love my animals like they're my children. Right. So I knew at that moment we needed to do something. So at 12:30 that night, I got on the phone and started waking everyone up. Wonderful. And had decided to get up the next morning at 5 and be at the fire department and get started. And just see and honestly, I didn't know what we were walking into, what we were going to do at that point. I just knew we had to be there and do something. Now,
you take care of these animals in different ways, like if they need food, you feed them and things like of that nature?
Yeah, the first call that I got was for an injured animal. So we went out to Bentley Road and got that first animal. And actually the first load up we came out with, I think we came out with 5. And the 2 of those had to go to the vet. So we sent those on to the vet and just started asking people to bring us crates and cages and things like that. And we actually just set up at that moment in the East Bernstead Fire Department's parking lot with the animals, and I figured that we would have to have some sort of a temporary shelter. So a friend of mine who didn't live that far from the fire department said we could use his barn to house those animals for the first night. Well, we ended up with far more animals than I thought we were going to, and it seemed like it was a bigger project. So someone in our group called the Humane Society of the United States.
Very good.
And they got their mobile kennel unit rolling. So we did this, we went out in the field and picked up animals and talked to people and delivered dog food, took animals to the vet for these people, offered to house these animals so they could get on their feet. And on Sunday evening, I called them the cavalry, the HSUS rolled in on Sunday evening with their mobile kennel unit and took what animals we had at that time. So this is a very caring thing that you do for the community and the neighborhoods and things of that nature. You're out helping these animals, helping the families of the people, and this is wonderful. I mean, there's so much involved in that, and a lot of people probably didn't even stop and take time to think about the animals, during that tragedy down there, but just like you said, they needed assistance too. They needed help. Exactly. Honestly, through this, it's went beyond the animals. I say we always try to adopt animals. Well, I think I've adopted a couple of families in all this, because there's 2 families in particular that I just really love, and there's one older little lady that has a golden retriever named Jake, and I'll tell you, I fell in love with her and her whole family. Wonderful. I'd like to think when all this is over, I've made a friend, because I plan on spending time with her this summer and helping her get back on her feet. I told her I can paint and landscape and things like that. So I really do. To me, it's went beyond the animals. Right. And a lot of people under the sound of her voice, they don't realize what a tragic thing it was down in East Bernstead, with the loss of homes and the loss of lives and things of that nature. We can't even scratch the surface of how bad it was down there. It was terrible. One of the first calls we got for an injured dog, went out there, and the lady had just lost some family. She lost a family member, and they were frantic searching for the dogs that they had. And she was her house was just, it was everywhere. It's unimaginable the way it was, but it was just everywhere. And she came running for me to get her dog and to help her. And I looked down and she only had on one shoe.
Oh, my goodness.
It broke my heart at that point. And you know, at that minute, I realized this is far beyond any animal rescue. You know, this lady's just lost everything
Exactly.
in her life, and you know, she's worried about her dog.
So you care for all types of animals, like dogs, cats, and and even horses, if there was some horses
There
down
were horses involved
Right.
in this. There was a man who had lost 6 horses and could not find them. So I sent some friends of mine out there, and also Forever Friends. You know, we sent people out there to try and help him look for his horses, which he did find 4 days later. They had been completely covered with the trees. They were laying down and the trees were laying on top of them, and 4 of those were alive.
Oh, my goodness.
There's one horse that's still a little sore and they're scratched up, but they're,
Right.
for the most part, for being there for 4 days, they're in wonderful shape.
That's so wonderful. Now, how can people that's listening by the way of radio and watching by the way of TV, how can they get involved with this organization, support you guys, and help back you up?